with Max. Hopefully everybody's able to join us. Oops, there we go. Just setting up the tripod. Yeah, Max. What do you think, Max? Okay, there, the tripod's up. You're up. I see Barbara's here. Ornithology dude's joining us. This is good to see everybody joining us. Yes, Max. There's 1,000 what? There's 1,000 Aggies? Well, that might be the case. Yeah, Maximus. Maximus, how are you? So Max does see that there's some snacks here. I see we've got Mookie, Lucy and Linus, Arnav. Everybody's joining us. Let's go here. Go. I've got my secondary device where I can read comments so I don't have to be trying to bump the phone all the time. Aaron's here, Sue's here, Arham. Glad to see everybody. It is actually a beautiful day out here. And we have a few tasties for Max, including a cup of water. Just one sip or one drool. Yeah, one drool looks good. And I've got lunch. Got a whole bowl full of it. Here you go, Max. There you go. We eat politely today. Yes, we're going to eat very politely. There. We'll go for a little bit more of a close-up. There, because I don't think Max is going to be moving around much for the next little bit. He's got snacks. He's happy. I have coffee. I'm happy. Max, did you notice your harness is on crooked? What are people going to think? Your harness is crooked. Can I fix that? Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah. That's better. I've got another spoonful of Aggie. Yeah, I didn't feel like having him tossing forks and chasing forks outside today. Just did not sound like fun. All right, Max. More Aggie? Haha. The patio with a view. Hey, Greenbird's here. He is eating some quick cooked Aggies. What I do with the Aggies is I microwave them. I just quickly mix the white and the yolk together, and then I microwave them. Quite enjoys that. That's a wonderful treat for him. You see the neighbor, Max?
What, you don't remember your friend? Hey?
Hi, Teddy. How are you?
Hey. You don't remember your friend? Hey?
Oh, there he goes. What's up, Max? Yeah. You remember him? Yeah.
I know. You want to say hi? I know. Say hi to everybody.
That's what Max was trying to do this morning.
Come on, they're busy. Come on, let's go. They're busy. Max is on his phone.
Here, Max. Do you want another snack? Oops.
Okay, come on. Let's go.
Well, I don't know. Oh,
Come
go
on, they're
poop. There you
busy,
go.
See? Oh boy. Look.
Snacks.
Having his breakfast.
Yes,
Come on,
he is.
Let's go. We gotta
Hi,
go.
Teddy.
We gotta go. Come on.
Neighbor has the cutest dog. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Hush. It's okay. It's okay. What's up? Yeah. It's okay. See? Yeah. Yeah, Max. I'm not quite sure what was setting Max off there. If he was just getting excited because the neighbor was going in and he didn't want them to, or if he was warning me about a bird. He seemed getting like he was getting a little bit nervous, so I just stood up and got a little bit closer for him. And he felt safe. He didn't try to hop on me, so he wasn't super nervous. So let's see if I can catch up on a few comments here. Yeah, Max, let it out. You can have a yell now so you don't have to yell later. Yes, okay. So let's catch up on a few things of the week. I'm quite happy to say that we are one step closer to being able to do social outings. I got my first dose of vaccine this week, so I've joined Team AstraZeneca. Max was a little bit upset because I told him how excited I was, and he looked at me when I got home and said, "What? You didn't bring me any? What gives?" Yeah, poor Max. None for you. All for me. Oh, Max. There's some more eggy here. Yeah, that's polite. Eating off of the spoon. Oh my goodness, Barbara! Thank you so much. Barbara just sent a super chat. I really, really appreciate that, Barbara. That is super, super cool. Just overwhelmed by you guys. Thank you. So yeah. Oh, Mookie says that she got her second. Congratulations, Mookie. So yeah, that's really, really exciting. Oh, my bird. Yes, you're right, Sue. Doris and Tango aren't here yet. I'm hoping they're okay. If I don't hear from Tango, I'll message him afterwards and just check that he and his cat Uman are okay. It's unusual for them not to be joining in on a Saturday. Hello, Jan. Glad to see you. So, in other news, my laptop computer decided to die out yesterday. It's about 13 months old, so exactly 1 month outside of the warranty period. Oh, you don't want a grape. You don't want a grape in a spoon? You want a grape in a hand? Grapes? Oh, you're hoping for a bit more egg, huh? Here. There's a little bit more eggy. You can have the scraps of the egg. Here, a little bit more? Eggy. So I was not too happy about my laptop dying this week. It's not the end of the world. I still have my old laptop. I actually replaced it early last year when COVID first hit. And the reason that I did that is because I was a little bit concerned what would happen if my laptop went down. We were going into COVID. We did not know what lockdowns would look like. You don't want a grape? Okay. Would you like some water? Water? Okay. Let me show you that the only thing I've got in here are grapes. Okay. You don't have to eat grapes. Yeah, you can just watch. That's okay. Oh, Tango's here now. Yeah, so when I replaced a little bit early, my old laptop's still working. So it's not the end of the world. It's really a case of moving to the old laptop. The old laptop's kind of slow. I'm going to take this one apart and see if I can reseat the battery. It's not something that's really easy to get from the outside. So I'm going to see if I can get it back and running, but it's like it's a power issue. So I'm actually really grateful that the weather's nice so we can just stream from outside. In a pinch hit for a couple of days, I can also use my work laptop if I need to. And if you want to know the funny thing, I backed up my laptop this week. I actually did a full backup. So realistically, I lost maybe a week's worth of material. It's really not a big deal. So, well, Tango, I'm glad that you reminded your pet Uman. Yeah. So, the laptop was one thing. And the other thing that happened to me yesterday is my desk chair broke. I almost taught Max some new language. I was sitting upstairs in my office on a meeting and I shifted and the back suddenly decided to separate. It's been threatening to separate for a while. So that was my week. It was like, hey, Friday. Decided to act like Friday the 13th rather than Friday the 30th. I did remember to file my taxes. Now, last year tax deadline had been extended to the end of May. And yes, Max, it had been. And for some reason, I assumed, in my little brain, I decided that the tax deadline was the end of May. And I saw something pop up on social media in the middle of the day yesterday about last day to file taxes. And I thought, it can't be right. So I, in a big hurry, got my taxes filed last night. I do them myself, so it's not that big a deal. But I'm really glad that I did because I've got a nice... oh boy, Max, where are you going? Huh? Oopsies. Oh, where are you going? I've got a nice refund coming, so I'm not going to complain. That's going to take care of the... Oops. Let's not knock over the camera. That's going to take care of the new laptop and the new chair. Yes, Max. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, you just want a scritchy. Oh, I'm going to just readjust a little bit. You can see Max is just looking for some loving right now. Can't see his face too well, but that's okay. We've got a bunch of new feathers coming in. Yeah, you lost a couple of crest feathers this week. There's some new cresties coming in, huh? Oopsies. Let's see. Yeah! Oh, that's what you wanted, huh? Just the quick scritchies? Yes, Max saw people walking past. Had to go give the traditional Max greeting. Yes, Max, you're doing pretty good. So there's been ups and downs this week, but the other fun thing that happened this week is I very, very briefly got to see Q. Now, don't tell Max. He does not know about this yet. It's going to be a surprise. So I guess I'd better whisper. But Q's in the process of moving. And in Q's new place, she's going to have a single floor rather than the multi-floor. And I got a message this week asking if I was interested in a large Moluccan stand. Now, Max is a little bit too large for Tico's stand, and Max is a bit too large on Tico's previous stand as well. So he's really been hanging out on the chair. But I thought, yeah, that seems like a really good idea. So maybe pick up a new seat for Max, see if he likes it. So on my way down to get the COVID jab, I actually stopped by Q's place to pick up the perch. It was social distance. I saw them from a distance. I waved at Q. Q's looking really good. Yeah, I mean, it was really cool to see Q. Can't wait until I can hang out with Q and her pet Uman again. They seem to be doing really well. Now, Q used to go out all the time, and with COVID, of course, she's not been going out as much, and she used to go out a lot more than Max. And what Q Zuman said is that Q's been, Q was taken out once when we had a bit of a relaxation on things. And Q really was not too happy with the experience. She didn't understand why people were wearing masks. She didn't understand why she couldn't go visit people. So after COVID, it's actually going to be a bit of case of reacclimatize the flock to what they can expect when they see people and how they can interact with others. But that's going to be the same with us as well in a way, isn't it? Yes, Q and Uman are moving again. They're just moving a few blocks away from where they're at. Unfortunately, they're not moving closer to us, but they're not that far away. It's just a case right now of it would be really, really nice to be able to hang out with them. Q Zuman's been vaccinated. I've been vaccinated. Then we can start getting out and meeting up together. Oh boy, Max, do you see people? Now, this is the part I love about being outside. Max gets so excited about seeing people. Oh, Mookie, do you have to leave us? Yes, Tango, you missed eggs, but we still have grapes. Grapes? Nope. B cup to grapes. So what's going to happen is Max is going to want grapes as soon as we go indoors. He's going to look at me and say, "Oh, where were these grapes? I've been wanting them all day." Yes, Max, your laugh sounds adorable. Max loves to see that there's people outside. He loves to hang out in the sun. It's going to be another nice day. It's just beautiful out here. Yeah, Mookie, we're going to miss you for the rest of the live stream if you're leaving us. But yeah, so that was our news for the week. Hopefully next week we're going to have the larger, or the Max perch out. Hello, how are you? Good. Go ahead. We're streaming. I've got the camera set on Max, but you're welcome to, I do, Max the Moluccan at Instagram. He has 55,000 followers, so he's a fairly big one. Yeah, Max the MOL, and he should pop up. That's us. Hey Max, you just got a new follower. Can you say hello? You say bye-bye, Max? You too.
Bye, Max. You have a big day too.
Yeah, the people are saying hi from a distance. Yes. Oh, hi, Killer Katie. Glad you're joining us. Hey, Max. You're getting kind of close to the camera. You're going out of focus, bud.
I am a bird.
Yeah, are you a bird? Let's see. There, I've got it in focus. Yeah, Max. You're pretty excited. So Max also, that's the other piece of news. Max turned 55,000 on InstaFlock this week. That's 55,000 followers. That's just absolutely amazing. InstaFlock was our first social media. Then we joined Facebeak, and after that we started up YouTube. So we were a little bit slow on joining up on YouTube, and obviously we're still growing our YouTube. We've got about 1,600 followers on YouTube, and that is growing every day. It's growing all the time. It's just a matter of time as we grow, and I'm not too worried about it because I know it is going to grow. It seems that we got over that initial hump. Oh boy, you're getting a little bit too close here, buds. Let's go. There, let's keep you in focus. Oh. Okay, scritchy time. paws on scritchies to greet the neighbors. And Max goes for a climb back up. Because he thinks it'd be funny to get out of focus, I think. Oh, do you see people? Yes, do you see people, Max? Yes, Tango, get the word out so people follow Max on YouTube. Yeah, well, I mean, YouTube, I'm super grateful that we were able to reach monetization. That actually gives us access to a few more tools on YouTube as well. And I also know that as you start to hit some of these milestones, suddenly the algorithms change. They know that your account is proven, that you know you're around, people are following you, and they are a bit more likely to promote you on the search algorithms. So if you want to help out Max on YouTube, it's actually quite easy. Just hit the share button on a YouTube video, share it out to social media, share it out to some friends, share out the links, and invite people over and say, hey, this is kind of fun. Takes 2 minutes, costs nothing. So in terms of social media, we're also on Twitter, of course. And recently we have set up a Discord. Link to the Discord should be on the video description. I updated it earlier this week, so it should be a permanent link. And hopefully I got that one right this time. But Discord is a chat server. I know a few people have tried it and said, this is kind of weird, this is kind of awkward. When I first started using it, and I've been using it for all of 10 minutes, so I'm certainly not an expert. But when I started using it, it really felt like I was trying to type with both hands tied behind my back. It was sort of, this is new, this is weird. What is this? I've sort of figured out what it looks like. There's a couple of different chat rooms. You can send private messages. You've got the chat room. May not be for everybody, but if you're looking for a place to connect with some flockers outside of the socials and just have a place to, essentially a chat room to sit down and talk to them, where you can chat in a group, sort of more of a message board. You know, that's what Discord can be used for. I know the gamers use it for a little bit more for live gaming, sharing music and whatnot. I've not really fully explored that type of stuff yet, but you know, it's definitely an option if you're looking for somewhere to chat during the week. So you're welcome to try it out. If you need a hand with that, ornithology dude is up here. He is one who helpfully set it up for us, so he knows a bit more about Discord than I do. So if you're looking for help with that, he's more than willing to help. I'm more than willing to try to help. You know, you can send me a message on any of my other socials, say, hey, I'm having a problem, connect with me. That's great. I'll try and help you get hooked up if I can. But it's there if you are interested, but it's not going to replace anything else. One thing I am going to do, however, on Discord is I've got an InstaFlock news channel. And once in a while, there's going to be some InstaFlock news that gets released there just for the people who are the strong followers of Max. Yes, Tango. Max did ask for apples yesterday. Let's see. I'm just going to try and catch up here on comments. Actually going to move to my other device. Let's see what we have. I think I'm going to bring a box out here so I can read comments in the shade. Yes, Tango, of course you can have my clautograph. Uh-oh, and we are coming in for... what do you want, Max? Okay, let's see here. The scritchies. Yeah, ran over from some scritchies. Yeah, we can always get some scritchies, can't we? Oops. Okay, Max, I just need 2 hands for a second because I'm trying to catch up on comments. And I closed them. That's what I did. Okay, come here. Scritch. Oh, top of your head's kind of itchy. Oh, hi, Einstein. Glad you're joining us. Tango says that Tango's mom finally wore purple socks. Are these the Max purple socks? Those are kind of cool. Yes, Mookie, we love the fact that you follow us forever. Always, always cool. Yes. Well, Ornithology Dude's actually on a slightly different time schedule than we are. We're obviously in Canada, and Ornithology Dude is not. So definitely some different time zones happening here. Yeah, Tango, definitely. Discord's not for every birdie. Absolutely. It is an option. But, you know, Tango, you know that your Uman, if she needs anything, she can message me anytime on InstaFlock. I know she has before. It's kind of cool. Ah, oh, there's some feathers. Let's set those out over top of your pretty harness. Yeah. Yeah, we're wearing red again today, aren't we? Oh, there we go. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Oh, more people? Yeah, Max, I don't know what happened to the sun. I think it hid behind a cloud. Yeah, it sounds like a big dump truck. Max is not a fan of the big heavy equipment that occasionally drives around. We're right on the very, very edge of the city. And if you've been following us for a while, you've seen us go out and visit the cows. That field is being turned into let's see here if we can get a better focus. There we go. That field is being turned into a housing development. The empty field that we used to walk past is now turning into a housing development as well. The city is definitely growing. It is kind of weird. Max does not like the construction, though. He's gone over there, we've walked past a few times, and he just says, forget it. I don't like this. There's weird sounds. I don't know where you put my field. This does not look normal. This is not what I signed up for. Yeah, Max, it's not what you signed up for, huh? No construction. Now, Max, that's not your toy. Yeah! Yeah, Max, oops. Let's go. Let's try for a bit more focus. There we go. Cell phone is not always great at catching Max in focus. I'm just gonna, there we go. We've got some fluff and chops up and focus on them now. Yeah, if it slides out of focus, feel free to tell me in the chat. I can't always tell. Today I'm running on cell phone rather than the usual laptop. Mind you, when I'm streaming from outdoors, it seems the cell phone is the best setup. I haven't moved to bringing a laptop outside and the webcam and all of that yet. I might try that one of these days, but it just means that I have to move Max and all of the equipment at once. Probably bring out a big IKEA bag or something so I've got something to carry over the shoulder. Yeah, Max. But being able to stream on the cell phone is great today, given that the laptop has decided it does not want to play well with others. Yeah, Max, what do you think? Do you see people? I don't know if you can see this. I'm just going to scooch down. Max is standing 1 foot up. And that means that he is relatively relaxed. He's sort of debating right now if he wants to hold something with his cloth. Maybe he wants to take a nap. He's not quite too sure about things. Max has got a brand new noise that he's been practicing a few times this week. It's not a good noise. It's really not a good noise. If you recall, we had a bit of a problem with a power outage last week. I think I was telling you about that. So what happened and I may have just told you about this on the other social channels. Can't remember if I told you about it on a stream or not. I don't think I did. It was Sunday. It was Sunday morning. We got a wake-up call at 5:30 in the morning with every single smoke alarm, every single smoke detector in the house going off simultaneously. I was fast asleep minding my own business. The flock was fast asleep minding their own business. And I have had a few problems with false alarms. So usually, rather than go for a full-on evacuation, and I'm quite prepared to bug out the birds at instant notice, I've got carriers within 5 steps of their cages. Max has got his leash handy. His big carrier is actually down by the car. It just does not fit upstairs. It's more of a case of I've got a leash for Max, and worst case, I can throw the leash over his head under his wings and pull him in very quickly. In an absolute emergency, I could shove him in the same crate as Tico if I needed to. I've got that in the coat closet right beside the door, so I can bug out in a big hurry if I need to. But when an alarm goes off, I usually check the house, just because I've had so many false alarms with this particular smoke detector set. My neighbors have had a few the same. I've had to replace a few because they just won't quit going off for no reason. And that's never fun. So I wake up to the sound of smoke alarms screaming. And I go through the house looking for which alarm has gone off, trying to figure out which one has triggered, because they're all interconnected and there should be a light. And as I'm going for the downstairs one, I go to flip on the downstairs light. Downstairs light does not work. That ain't good. I've got it's pitch black down there. It's the basement. So grabbed a light out of the pantry. My pantry sort of can be in a little bit of shadow, so I've got some of the magnetic LED lights just hanging on a couple of shelves, so I can just bump them and shed light on the shelves. And of course they're magnetic, so I could grab that and ran downstairs with it to see what was going on. There was no fire downstairs. The smoke alarm's just going off. So I just tapped that one off, checked out the rest of the house, checked and Max, realized that the power had actually gone out simultaneously when the alarms had gone out. So I thought to myself, you know what? That probably was a bit of a power bump or a power spike just before it went off that set everything off, and decided to settle down. Well, a couple of minutes later, the alarms go off again. Eventually I end up taking down alarms so that they're not going off, because there's certainly no fire, and smoke alarm goes off no matter what room I've got it in. That's not a good sign. But there was definitely no fire. My house did not burn down, but Max heard the sound a few times. So a little bit later that day, he was kind of pissed off with me for being woken up by the sound of the smoke detector. What does he do? He decides to start doing his fire alarm imitation. It was very, very accurate. I was not quite sure why there was only one going off, because they should be interconnected. Nope, it was the bird. He looked pretty pleased with himself. So he knows how to get me up in a big hurry. He also thought it was funny one morning this week. He was up a bit earlier than I was and thought, well, maybe you'd like to get up. And I can tell you the sound of a smoke alarm going off will get you up and out of bed in a great hurry. Max, you were not my favorite person or my favorite bird for figuring out that sound. But definitely the flock will learn new sounds whenever they can. So that happens. Okay. Yes. Yeah, so we did have some fun this week on videos. We had Max talking with some of our subtitles. And Tango's right. Max was talking about apples on the patio. I thought the exchange about the seagulls was just too funny because Max decided he thought that they were bad birds. He's not happy. We occasionally have a seagull come out, and you can see out here, yeah, it's on the bottom. You can see how we have a little black railing around our patio. We've got a seagull who's been coming out here, perching on here, and screaming at Max's window, which is just, I'm just going to shift the camera. Yeah, that's Max's window right there, just slightly above where we are right now. So seagull lands there, screams at Max. Max screams back. Max is not too happy. So I think the seagull figured out that it was kind of fun to tease Max. I didn't think it was quite as fun, especially when I figured out what Max was screaming at. So Max has had a busy week. See people, but we had a few fun videos of him sitting out here talking, but the one about the seagulls was just hilarious. He called them a bad bird. You know, and I told him they were just seagulls. He told me, so what? I mean, this bird has that instinct for comedy, I think. Right, Max? And that's the people alarm. You can see people. I think he's trying to tell them to come over here and be friends with him. Yeah, Max, I know. Yeah, it's nice that the sun came out again. Yeah. Don't know if you can see. I'll show you what he's yelling at. One person way over there with the dog. I think that's who he's trying to attract. Now, Max, shh, inside voice. You're gonna scare all of our neighbors. We don't want to scare the neighbors. Yeah. What? Their neighbors are nice people. We don't want to scare them. There we go. And set up the tripod. Max, you realize it's really awkward to see you there? Okay, let's scooch in a little bit further. Okay. I think we're on the tripod zone. It's definitely harder to see what's going on camera when you're outside. The sun makes the screens harder to see. Oh, I had somebody this week asking me about my usual setup when I'm live streaming, and I commented that I'd talk about it on today's live stream. So when I'm outdoors streaming, what I do is I set up a tripod and I use my cell phone as the camera. That one hooks into Wi-Fi quite nicely, and I can just stream. I have a secondary cell phone, my old cell phone, right here. And I use that to monitor the stream and monitor some of the comments. It just makes it so I don't have to necessarily lean over and see everything that's happening on camera at any given time, just because it gets into the weird angles and I can't always see it. When I'm indoors streaming, my setup is, well, laptop computer that's now going to be taken apart, hopefully fixed, and if not, replaced. But I hook up the laptop to an external webcam, and the webcam is used for filming. I can monitor everything that's going on the laptop. And I have a ring light that I picked up that I set up. And of course, everything is on a tripod. So got a tripod for the ring light and a tripod for the webcam. So that seems to get fairly good. I'm not 100% happy with the light that I'm getting off the ring light. I can't adjust the color temperature of the light quite as much. And certainly when we're outside, you can see a lot more of Max's colors, especially his beautiful crest colors. And inside, the white tends to get a little bit washed out. But, you know, it's reasonable for what I've got. Someday I'll have a fancier setup. And then, of course, I use chairs as perches because Max will stay on them. He likes sitting on a chair like a person. He honestly does. I'm hoping he's going to like his new perch, and we'll try and bring that one out maybe next week. I'll get some pictures of it this week. It's actually still in my car. When I got home on Thursday, I had not pulled it out of the car yet, and figured that I would do so, you know, sort of on the weekend here and get things set up. Because it's certainly going to be brought in. It's going to be something new. The birds need to watch me bring it in. You know, it needs to be seen as something normal. I'm probably going to bring it in. It's probably not, it looks normal enough that I can get Tico to step on it right away. And then Max will see that it's meant to be a perch, so I can make it seem like it's a good thing. There's probably going to be some treats involved. Yeah, Max, there's always treats involved when you're there. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, we're in focus. And let's see what we're missing here on comments. Yes, certainly when I'm outside, it is harder to keep up on comments. If I miss something really important, I'm hoping that you'll ask me again, just in case I do miss it. Yes, Killer Katie, the Berberazzi needs to keep up. Amanda says, I know cussing is naughty, but I do get a kick out of it. Does that mean I'm a bad person? Well, around here, there's, you know, when you have a bird, you try your hardest not to swear around the bird. I can tell you that I've hit my ulnar nerve, my funny bone, on a cage before, and I've come out with fun, and I've tripped, and that's turned into shoo, and you know, all sorts of fun interactions where a word becomes another word just because you realize halfway through that you really do not want the bird to learn the new vocabulary. There's some African greys in a zoo, and I'm forgetting the exact location of it, but I mean, location I guess does not matter. But one of these birds in the zoo learned how to swear and taught a few other birds in the flock how to swear. And suddenly, suddenly they had the swearing flock, which was not safe for kids, so they had to take these birds out of public view. That story surfaced a couple of times on social media, and this week it's making another round, I've noticed. But the comment I've seen this week on it, and I think is absolutely hilarious, is the suggestion that, hey, what they should do with these adult-only African greys, take them to a beer garden. You know, people will pay to go drink with the sweary birds. And, you know, it's quite possible. But certainly, you don't want your birds learning how to swear. So the easiest way to do that is not to swear around them. Are you excited? Do you see somebody across the street? Yeah, I don't think they're coming over here. Yes, you look very pretty. Your feathers are perfect. They just didn't see you. Yeah, I don't know how, they could not hear you, but... Yeah, Yes, Max, you're doing well. You are doing really well. Yeah, Amanda says, beer garden and swearing birds. I don't drink, but I'd be there. She's volunteering to be the designated driver. Sue says, at the rescue she volunteers at, there's some birdies that cuss a lot, so they're sadly difficult to adopt out. And that is absolutely the truth. You know, most people don't want the sweary bird inside their house. And remember, if the bird learns something, it's installed for life. It really is. Max occasionally will... Max has told me a lot about his previous life. I mean, he lived in a basement, and he used to play the yelling game with his humans. And I understand what they yelled at him because he yells it back. Now, he yelled it back at such a volume, it's not super clear to hear. And the day I figured out what he was yelling, I was actually sitting outside in my car. My car door was shut, my house door was shut, I was in the driveway, and I heard him yelling, and I could make it out from that distance. It was that loud, but when it was that far away, I could actually make it out a little bit clearer. And what he was yelling was, and I'm not going to say the words out loud, so you're going to have to learn how to spell, SHUTUP Max. He was just shouting us over and over and over again. So what happened? They yelled this at him. He yelled it right back. It was a great game. Notice it had the exact opposite intent of what they really wanted. They wanted Max to be quiet, so they yelled at him. He yelled the request to be quiet right back at them. And, you know, it's certainly when he gets really, really upset, or he's feeling abandoned, or he's really, really frustrated, that's when that language will come out. And to me, that tells me where he is in mindset. Usually when he's in that mindset, he's pretty upset. And I recognize when he is that upset, you know, he's certainly more likely to take a chomp. But usually what he wants, he just wants some calm attention. And I try not to give him direct attention on that, but I let him know that he's not alone, and I make sure that when he's been feeling, let's see, are we in focus? We've got a bird. Yeah. I make sure that when he's feeling that he needs to communicate that way, that he is going to get a little bit more attention a little bit later on in the day, not directly, because I don't want him to associate it directly. Do you see people, Max? What did you say, Max? No, we're not going to go over and see people. I know you'd like to. Yeah, that's your leash. Absolutely. You know, and that's the other thing I'm going to point out is every single time that we go outside, Max wears a leash. It's so that he can keep me safe. He's attached to me. It keeps Pet Uman from wandering off. It keeps him within a safe distance. Even if your bird is clipped, even if they've never flown, a scared bird has amazing powers of levitation, and they can learn how to fly in a big hurry. And yeah, those are your toes. And a leash means that if Max is scared, he's not going to go too far. Now, this holds him around his body. This part of the leash, yeah, it's a little bit dusty right now, is actually quite springy. It's quite elastic. Hopefully you can see that. No, Max, I'm not holding it for you to chew on. And this part does not have a lot of spring. but this section of the leash where it is attached, it is quite springy. It is securely attached. Now, how the leash is made is actually a concern because a cheap leash with a good yank could possibly fall apart. I use aviator leashes from Parrot University. I'm quite happy with the way that they are constructed. They put a lot of focus on how they're built. I don't get anything for talking about the leashes. I'm just talking about what I personally use. I do have a couple of leashes that I've homemade as well. Parrot University only comes in solid colors, and there's the occasion where I want a fancier leash. For example, I have got a pride leash made up because I'd love to take Max down for a pride parade one of these days. Obviously, it has not happened yet, but I think that that could be kind of fun. You know, just sort of something with everybody in all sorts of colors, and Max loves seeing people with dressed up in bright colors. It's fun for him. He loves people with brightly colored hair. And I can't think of a more colorful parade to go to than something like a pride parade. And I know that he would probably be quite welcome there. So that's sort of a bit of a stretch goal for him. We'd love to go to one of those, but of course he's going to be leashed. But we also go to all sorts of festivals, if we can, there's a busker outside, there's a bit of a street festival down in Inglewood. We want to go down there and wander it and just interact with people. Now, when we socialize, obviously post-COVID, one of our goals with socialization is really to talk about responsible parrot ownership. What are you doing? And responsible bird ownership. Now, what does that mean? That means somebody says, oh my gosh, you've got a cockatoo. I've always wanted one. My first response is, no, you do not. And I'll explain to people what a commitment a bird of this nature is. And I'll explain that many cockatoos, by the time they've hit 5 years of age, they're in their third, maybe fourth home. A lot of cockatoos end up in rescues, especially the big guys like the Moluccans. They end up in rescues, and they're considered not adoptable just because of the behaviors. People want the sweetheart of a bird. Yeah. Max's superpower, the laugh to scare away the birds overhead. Yeah. Okay. You're safe. But, I talk about why you may not want to adopt one, and why, adopting a bird's not just like saying, oh, I see a cute stuffed animal, maybe I'll go out and purchase it. Yeah, not quite the same thing. This is a lifetime commitment. When you look at a Moluccan, they can live 80 to 100 years. When you adopt one of these guys, you are making that commitment for life. You have to make, responsible arrangements. If something happens to you, who's going to take the bird? Who's going to take care of them? What happens? It's not the kind of bird that you get for a couple of years, then you pass along to another owner. That's why there's a lot of really traumatized birds out there, because these guys have got feelings. They understand what flock members are. When I was married, we had a lesser sulfur-crested cockatoo, and she was quite young when I separated, but she honestly was traumatized by the fact that my ex-husband was no longer there. Yeah. Go for a better look? You gonna go stand on top of the chair? Yeah? Hello. Go see. Thank you. He's a 26-year-old Moluccan cockatoo named Max.
26 years old.
26.
He's already in this world for 26 years.
He's young. He can live 80 to 100 years.
Max Howard.
Such a beautiful day. We just had to come out. You gonna show off, Max? He's not a fan of social distancing. He'd love to be over collecting scritchies, but after COVID, we can do that. I know, Max, but we're going to stay over here. I know. You see kids, you see parents. It's so exciting. Yeah. Can you buck? Can we get a buck out of you, Max? Buck. Can you buck like a chicken? Okay, not scram song. How about buck? Excited bird.
Yeah. Hopefully at night he's not excited.
You know, he'll scream a couple of times, but he's not too bad. The insulation's really good. I tested that before we moved in.
Okay, that's good then. You guys have a good day.
Yeah, have a great day.
Thank you.
Happy Saturday.
Happy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Max, I know. You'd love to be over there. Yeah, he saw some kids and he definitely got excited by that. So this might surprise you to learn, but cockatoos can be loud. And that's certainly one of the reasons too why they end up being rehomed, and they can be a handful. They make a huge mess, but they need a lot of attention. So usually if I'm out on an outing and I'm talking about birds, it's education. I teach people why they don't want to buy a cockatoo. It's not something you walk into just on a whim. The other thing that I find the outings do is people are amazed to see that you take your birds outside, you take them on outings. Absolutely. The thing with the parrot, or even the smaller birds, they're social animals. They want to be involved in whatever you're doing, whatever, you go out for a walk, they'd love to join you, but they need to do so safely. That means, obviously, a leash and a harness, and it's not hard to train. If your bird's not willing to do leash and harness, there's always carriers. Tico's gone through a bit of a phase where he's not happy being leashed, so he goes out in a carrier. That's fine. I mean, it's up to him. If he wants to wear his leash, he can go out on my arm. If he does not, he can go out in a carrier. It keeps him safe, and I think that that's a reasonable approach. He still gets to come outside, but there's also differences. Tico does not like crowds. He does not really like interacting with people. He's quite happy just to hang out with me and to see me in a few, he's the introvert. Max thinks large crowds are just what he wants to do. He hates open fields, but if there's a large crowd in an open field, he'll forget he's in an open field. He's so excited seeing the people.
Wow.
It is.
Wow. Can you speak?
Yeah. Can you say hello, Max?
Oh, really? How old?
I'm going.
Max
Hi.
is 26 years old.
26?
Yeah.
They live for 100, right? Or
80 to 100, yep.
Wow.
So he's just a young adult. Yeah. Well, he comes out. He always comes out on a leash. It's the responsible thing to do. Hey, Max. Hush. I don't like that sound, please. He's excited to see people. Yeah, Max, yelling's not going to bring them over here. Maxwell, inside voice, please. Here. Water? That distract you? Okay, now I've got a distracted bird who's being quiet. But I mean, just like a little toddler, if they're screaming, they usually want something. Sometimes it's attention, but that's not a good thing to give them. If they get attention every time they scream, what do they learn? They learn that that's the best way to get attention. Grape, it's warmed in the sun. Oh, yeah, grapey. Let's go here. Let's go for some focus. Is that fun, Max? Is that a good grape? So that's a couple of the reasons why I try to take him out on meetups and whatnot. It really gives him a chance to get out and socialize and, you know, see what's going on. And that's certainly part of the fun for him. Yeah, we're gonna have a snack here. I'm going to just let the stream run until Max is finished having his snacks, because I know Tango missed snacks at the start, and it certainly is time for some snacks again. Oh yeah, Barbara, there's, you know, certainly there is a pet trade with African greys where they are pulled away from another grape, where they're pulled away from their natural habitats. They're wild caught. They're used in medicines. They're used in the pet trade. And this is one of the reasons why so many birds are on the CITES 1 and CITES 2 list. They're going extinct. You know, we're tearing away their natural habitats. I honestly, owning a bird, I don't think that it's really fair that we're wild catching birds and turning them into pets. They're still wild animals. Having said that, I'll certainly provide a home for Max, and if I get another bird, it will be a rescue. I mean, there's so many birds out there that do need additional homes that are already part of it, but I'm not going to support breeding of birds by purchasing newborns. Now, was that always my attitude? No. Didn't know any better when I was younger, and certainly, you know, 24 years ago when I got Tico, if you wanted a bird you bought from a pet store, you bought a baby, this was the normal thing to do. But I think that we're really changing some of the attitudes. Is that a good grape, Max? So, yeah, pet trade, if you're not really on it, you know, if you're not really aware what's going on with it, there's some really good articles out there. Oh, Amanda, so glad that you joined us today. Yes, Mookie, we certainly do love our videos. Well, Tango, I know you missed the eggies at the start, but hopefully the grapes at the end are making up for it. We had a good block. Let's see. I'm just scrolling through comments here to see if I missed anything. Are those good grapes, buddy? Amanda, Tico's not outside today. He's inside. He has got a fresh box, and he seemed really interested in playing with that. So just letting him play around with that. I really do let the birds choose what they want to do. Amanda asks, do birds see the same colors as we do? Amanda, birds are actually got greater color vision than we do. They can see into some of the ultraviolet range, and that means where we may just see a blackbird or a gray bird, you know, you look at a crow, you see black, you look closely, you see a little bit of iridescence, but when you look at that same bird in the UV spectrum, and if, you know, you can only sort of imagine what that's going to look like, you can sort of mimic it. You're not going to see the same thing a bird can see, but you can see that under UV, there's so many different colors and patterns. It is quite amazing. Isn't that right, Max? Let's see. I'm actually getting a little bit annoyed with this camera that it's not focusing on Max. It wants to focus on the background. Let's see if there's any other questions here that I missed. Come on. There we go. Hi, Venus. Venus says 3 of her 4 birds are rescues. One of her eckies was from a family that was given to their 5-year-old. They figured it wasn't a good pet for a 5-year-old the hard way. Yeah, that's not a great plan. And certainly one thing that happens is people will get birds when they're young and they think it's a wonderful thing, and then their life circumstances change. They have kids. They decide they want to move to another country. They want to travel. And their lifestyle is just not, it really does not align with having large birds as pets. It's not fair to the bird, it's not fair to them. So I always encourage people to go into it eyes wide open and really think about it. You know, wait until you're established and you figured out what your life actually looks like and what you want in your life. You might think at 17 that you know what you want for your life for a bird, but honestly, if you wait until you figured out where you're going in life, I know there was some talk on Discord where ornithology dude. Oops, I lost my network connection for a minute. I'm back now. I see that I still have people here. Apologies for that. Well, I think this is going to be a good time to sign off. I would like to thank Barbara again for her super chat. That was super, super thoughtful of you. And we're going to get some videos out this week. If I'm delayed on a video, please understand that I'm down by my regular computer. So hopefully I'm going to be able to set things up on the old computer and a backup computer, or get this computer back up and running. But I'm definitely going to try to keep with my regular upload schedule. Hoping everybody has a good week, stays safe, stays happy. And just to sign off, I'm going to grab this by hand. I'm going to pick up Max. Come on, Max. Come. Let's go for a quick walk over here. Oop. Just give me one moment. I've got to untangle. I have no idea sometimes how the leash gets tangled around things. So Max, you want to give us a buck? Close up and buck? You going to go buck? You're going to look at the scary truck. Okay, Max, can we get a buck out of you? Buck. A buck. No, Max does not want to give us a buck. All right. Well, I'll take that. All right, everybody, have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye-bye.